Let me show you how we can improve battery life on the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 8. The first thing that we can do is we can go to battery settings. Over here in the battery settings, we can of course check out the daily usage and the usage of the battery since last charge. Over here we can also see the apps that use the battery the most. We can also go to details in order to check out a little bit more information about it. And of course, this is a great place to check out which apps drain the battery the most, so then you can decide what you want to do about it. Like for example, if I go to the camera over here, I can enable put in deep sleep. So deep sleeping apps are inactive in the background, however they may not be able to receive updates or notifications as a result. So this is not really recommended for those apps that require to be run in the background, like probably some social media apps. However, for those that don't really need to be active in the background, and if they drain a lot of battery anyway, then of course you can enable the deep sleep option. And if there are some apps that require to be run in the background, and they are not really social media apps, then you can consider uninstalling them. Of course, there are some apps that will always try to run in the background, like for example, animated wallpapers, and naturally these apps are going to drain the battery. So you need to simply decide if you want to have more fancy things on your phone, like those animated wallpapers, or maybe custom always on displays and stuff like that, or if you prefer to have more battery for your phone. Now, besides that, here in battery settings, we also have the power saving mode, which definitely allows you to have more battery if you have the power saving mode enabled. However, it is not really recommended to use the power saving mode all the time, more for situations where you need to save the battery for before you can charge it again. So only in situations where you cannot really charge your phone at a given moment and you are slowly running out of the battery, this might be the solution, of course. Besides that, we can also choose between a standard and the maximum battery saving mode or power saving mode, and of course the maximum option is going to provide the most battery out of all of these two. But what you can also do is you can go to these three dots and you can find the adaptive power saving mode, which allows the phone to automatically enable power saving mode for you once it detects that there is an increased battery usage or something, or based on usage patterns. Now, in addition to that, we can also find the battery protection, and this is not really a short-term improvement. This is for the longer one. So if you really care about your battery and if you wish to have the battery in a healthy state for as long as possible and to slow down the aging process, then in this case it is definitely recommended to have battery protection enabled. In fact, the best result is going to be with the maximum battery protection set to 80%. And the reason why is that simply because batteries are built in such a way, at least nowadays, that the best percentage for them while charging is going to be 80%. You shouldn't really keep charging all the way to 100% if you want to slow down the aging process. And definitely you want to make sure that you don't keep charging the battery once it reaches 100% to prevent overcharging. And this really can cause some issues, especially later on when the battery is going to last less and less time. This is, of course, the battery aging problem, which is something that is inevitable and it happens sooner or later. But of course, we can use the battery protection to slow that down. Now, of course, there is also the basic battery protection, which still allows you to charge the battery to 100%. But once the phone is charged to 100%, and if the charger is still connected to the phone, or the phone to the charger, then the charging stops until it drops down to 95%. And once it drops down to 95%, if the phone is still connected to the charger, then the charging starts again from 95 to 100%. And that's just in a loop until you unplug the charger, of course. And this might be the better solution for those who don't really like the 80% limit. I can understand that 80% might be a little bit too little for some of you. So hence why I can still recommend you using the battery protection, but with the basic option. And if you often charge your phone at night when you are asleep, then definitely you should enable the sleep time protection over here. Alright, so, and of course you might be thinking when you should start charging the battery. And over here there is no one simple clear answer, because it seems that different manufacturers provide different percentages. It seems that for Samsung Galaxy smartphones and devices in general, it is probably 15%, but I think the safer option is going to be 20%. So essentially you want to start charging the battery once it drops down to 20%, and then you want to stop at 80%. And definitely one thing is certain, you don't really want to completely use the battery all the way to 0%. You should avoid dropping down to 0% on your smartphone. You should always start charging before you drop to 0%. Now, in addition to that, we can also check out the battery information, where we have the battery health. Of course, 100% is the best score that you can get. And after some time, after like a year, maybe even more, the battery percentage is going to, of course, drop. There is also the charging settings. So if you believe that fast charging ruins the battery, then of course we can turn off fast charging option. If you don't really think so, then, well, you can just keep fast charging enabled. It's up to you after all. Alright, so I think these are the most important settings in the battery. However, display settings are also quite important in that regard. Display settings usually also have a huge impact on the battery life. And unfortunately, some of these features are going to be, well, how can I say it? It can be very annoying to not use them, or it might be just inconvenient to not use them, and I can fully understand that. It's up to you to decide which options you want to have enabled or disabled or changed or whatever. However, I'm just going to mention the full list of, maybe not the full, but I think the majority of the list of things that have the biggest impact on the battery, so you can just choose whatever you decide to choose. For example, here in the display settings, we have the light and dark mode, and the dark mode is going to use less battery. If you don't like dark mode, you can also consider using the dark mode schedule, so the dark mode can be enabled and disabled automatically at a given time. Of course, we also have brightness settings. The more brightness you use, the more battery is going to be used for that, so you always want to use as little brightness as possible, but of course to the point where it's still comfortable to use the phone. You don't really want to put the brightness all the way down and then not be able to use your phone. That is not really the point, and hence why it is recommended to use the adaptive brightness, which helps you save the battery. There is also the extra brightness, which of course is going to increase the maximum brightness, but also it uses more battery, as it is even written over here. So while extra brightness is great, in some cases it uses more battery, so you can decide if you really need it. And extra brightness is available if adaptive brightness is off. Besides that, we have motion smoothness, and over here we can switch between 60 and 120 Hz refresh rate. And 60 Hz is going to use less battery. It is the battery saving option, and this is one of those options that I believe can be very annoying to change. So while I would not really change that myself, I would keep using 120 Hz. Since I'm talking about improving the battery life, I just also have to mention this. Besides that, we should also be able to find the screen timeout, and the less screen timeout you use, the more battery you are going to save. So 15 or 30 seconds should be ideally the option that you want to go for. And usually that is really enough for most of the people. And in case you need to, of course, keep the screen on for a longer time, usually you can just tap quickly on the screen to extend the timer. And there is also this option up here, keep screen on while viewing. And while it is great to use, so as long as you keep looking at the phone, it doesn't turn off, even if you exceed the screen timeout. It uses more battery, of course. And it uses the front camera as well to detect if you're looking at it, so, so it uses naturally more battery. So you might want to turn it off. Alright, now, besides display settings over here, we can also go to lock screen and AOD. And of course, always on display is going to use battery as well. So if you don't really use always on display, you can consider turning it off. The same thing can be said about the edge panels, or sorry, not edge panels, edge lightning actually. So if we go to notifications and choose notification pop-up style, over here we have the lightning effect. It's going to also use a little bit more battery, so you can of course decide if you actually need to use it or not. You might want to turn it off to get more battery out of your phone. Now, in addition to that, we can also go to location settings over here. And in location, we should be able to find location services. And in location services, we have Wi-Fi scanning and Bluetooth scanning. These two options can be easily disabled, and there is no real disadvantage. I mean, at least on a daily basis. And it is actually going to save you a little bit of battery. So whenever there is an app or something that requires the phone to have these options enabled, then of course you can be informed about it, and then you will have the option to quickly turn it on. So of course temporarily you can just turn it on and that shouldn't be a problem, but generally speaking you want to keep these two options disabled. And not only that, we can also go to Google Services, and over here in Google Services we're gonna go to All Services. And then in here, in All Services, you should be able to find Usage and Diagnostics, and you can turn this option off. It can also improve the battery life when this option is off. Other than that, we can also go to the Device Care, which we have here. And then in Device Care, it is also recommended to go to the memory. And you might want to clean the memory from time to time. So over here we have this Clean Now button. You want to use it from time to time to make sure that the memory is not really occupied. If it is, then of course the phone might use more battery because of it. And sometimes you can also find the optimization button over here, which you might want to use as well. There's also the performance profile, which allows you to choose between these two options, standard and light. Now, the light option is going to save you battery. It prioritizes battery life and also increases the cooling efficiency, so your phone might not heat up as much as quickly, but at the cost of the processing speed. So you might actually notice the phone being slower. I'm not sure if you can actually notice this. I personally didn't notice it while using this profile. But still, this is something that, of course, we need to consider while using the light performance profile, and that is that the processing speed is going to be slower, and it's up to you which profile you prefer to use. If you really want to save the battery, of course, the light option is the one that you want to use. Of course, keep in mind that the software update is also quite important because some updates may come with some optimizations, and this can include the battery usage. So, of course, try to keep your phone up to date. And I think these are all of the major settings that we can, of course, change or do something about them to try to improve the battery life on your phone. Naturally, the more you use your phone, the more battery you are going to use as well. This is, of course, quite natural. But if you just want to make sure that you can get those extra minutes or hours, then this is what you can do. There is, I guess, two more things that I want to mention still. The first one is something that I mentioned before, but I think I should mention again, and that is that if you have something fancy going on in the background, like over here I have those animated wallpapers, then of course they are going to use definitely more battery. They are going to drain the battery on your phone, so you might want to use static images instead. And the second thing is all of these connectivity options. And what I mean is that you can turn these options off whenever you don't use them. I'm not saying to not use them at all. I'm saying to turn them off when there's actually no connection going on at a given moment. So for example, right now I don't have any Bluetooth device connected to my phone, and there is no reason for me to have Bluetooth enabled, so we can just turn it off. If you are outside of your home, you might want to turn off Wi-Fi because most likely you are not really using it anyway. Of course, when you go back to your home, you can re-enable Wi-Fi. If you try to connect and use a Bluetooth device, you can re-enable Bluetooth. But this is what I mean. You can just simply turn these connectivity options off. So this, except for, or maybe in addition to that, besides Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, this list also includes mobile data, location, NFC, and probably some more stuff that I actually just forgot about them, but still, these are the things that you can also do. This actually also saves the battery. And naturally, while these options individually maybe not really make a big of a difference, maybe individually these options can provide you like just a couple of minutes more, if you actually collectively count these minutes and if you add everything up, it might turn out that you can get even like 2 or 3 hours of additional battery time. So, while these changes might be small and insignificant individually, collectively they are quite huge at times. And that is pretty much it. Now, if you're looking for some tutorials for Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 8, I have a bunch of them, so be sure to check out my channel, leave a like, and subscribe.